Okay, today we are going to focus on the end play. Sometimes the end play is referred to as elimination slash end play, elimination slash throw in, strip, I don't particularly like the word strip, end play, or strip throw in. All of these terms mean exactly the same technique. And just what is it? The end play is a strategy by which you throw in a defender at a strategic point in the hand such that he has to lead a card to you that will give you a trick. So the end play, the strip, the throw in, the elimination, or whatever you call it, some point in the hand, and it has to be at a very strategic point, and we're going to look at when you throw them in. They have to lead a card to you, which will eliminate one of your losers or will give you an extra trick. And you say, well, how do I know that I have the possibility of an end play coming up? Bidding's over, opening lead's made, and the dummy comes down, and you know you're looking at you're the declarer, and you're making your plan, you're looking at your losers. How am I going to eliminate them? Certain indicators are present whenever there's a possibility that an end play is in the offing. And let's look at what these indicators are, and then we're going to go through several examples where you will see what they are. So indicators that an end play might be possible. First of all, you need trump length in both hands. Enough trumps that you can pull all of their trumps and have at least one left in both hands in case your opponent gives you a rough and a slough. You know what a rough and slough is. You rough in one hand and you throw a loser from the other hand. So certainly you've got to have at least one trump left in both hands. So you've got to have sufficient trumps to pull the trumps and have at least one left in both hands, the dummy as well as your hand, in order to, if the possibility of a rough slough exists. You've got to have, secondly, a card combination that you would like to have them lead. So when you're making your original study of your hand, you're saying, well, I don't want to be leading this suit. It would be great if I could get opponents to lead this suit. These would be things like there where you have the jack third opposite queen third. If you lead that suit yourself, you will not get a single trick in it. Or the possibility that you've got a double finesse. Wouldn't it be wonderful for you not to have to guess which way to finesse? You've got a two-way finesse with the king jack X opposite the ace 10X. Wouldn't it be great if you could get one of them to lead that for you? Guaranteed you're not going to have to lose the finesse. If you have something like king X opposite doubleton or tripleton, about the only way you could get the king is to lead small from the board towards your king. But wouldn't it be better if you could get your your opponent on the west side, to lead that suit for you? If you can throw him in at the right time, he may have no choice but to lead that suit for you. He'll have to lay down the ace and you'll get your king. Or ace X opposite queen X. Now, a lot of times on this, if you lead towards the queen, you're not going to get it. But if you can throw in west and make him lead, he might actually have the king of that suit, and he has no alternative but to lead away from his king. You stick your queen in and you get your ace. So trump length in both hands. And the second thing is a suit that you need to have them lead. You prefer not to have to lead it yourself. The third indicator, you've got to have a suit that you can eliminate, strip from both hands. In other words, it'll be a suit that you can board yourself in the dummy and board yourself in your hand of that particular suit. That's called the strip suit, the elimination play. You eliminate their being able to lead that suit, because if they do, they're going to give you a rough slough when you throw them in. And finally, you've got to have a suit or a card that you can throw them in at the right time. So once you've pulled all your trumps, and then in number 3 there, you have stripped out, made void in both hands, another suit. then you have to have a card that you can throw them in. The card you throw them in with, they're going to end up either having to give you a rough slough, or they're going to have to lead a suit to you that will eliminate one of your losers. So I know this is quite a bit, but I think if we just take some examples, look at several examples, that you're going to see what I'm talking about. So let's move on down, and I'll try to get the hand on the screen, and I'm going to just try to talk it out to you, and then I also have typed out what I'm going to be talking out to you. Okay, so this first hand, the contract is 5 clubs, and you get the king of diamonds lead. Now, we do have double dummy here where we do see their cards, but normally you don't see their cards. I would think on the bidding of this hand, South is the opener, would open a club. Any red-blooded West player is going to bid a diamond with that hand. You know you're going to overcall a diamond with that hand. Now you get up to the North hand. North's got 10 points. She has 4 hearts. Now she can bid a heart, and she's only promising 4. But when I bid a heart in a situation like that, I want my partner to think I've got 5. So I think with this North hand, I would probably just do a negative double. Of course, East is going to pass, and now the South comes back down, and I think she rebids 3 clubs. You've got a really good hand there, and your partner's got something, and you're short in the diamond suit, so you've got all kinds of good stuff working on this hand. And so pass by West. North comes in with a very good 3-no trump bid, I think. South is having none of that. She doesn't want to be in 3-no trump, so she puts it in 5 clubs. So you end up somewhere or other in 5 clubs, and you get the king of diamond lead. So let's look at the losers. South is going to be your master hand. You have more trumps in that hand, so it is you're going to count your losers from that side. So you look at the spade suit. You have 1, but you can avoid it. You have the ace king, but you have a 3rd one in your hand. You can rough it in the dummy. So you really can avoid any kind of spade losers. The heart suit is a problem for you. You see that? The heart suit is a real problem. If you have to lead that heart suit yourself, if that ace is not over on your right, if East does not have the ace, which is going to be unlikely that he is going to have, because remember, West is the one that overcalled. So you have a suit that you would like for them to lead. You don't want to have to lead the heart suit unless it's the last resort. The diamond suit, you do have 1 loser. The ace takes care of 1 of your losers, but looking at the South hand, you do have a diamond loser. It's unavoidable, nothing you can do. And in the club suit, you don't have any losers. Okay, so let's look at it again. You're okay in the spade suit. You're okay in the club suit. You have 1 diamond loser. Your problem in this hand is the heart losers. You've got to keep your heart losers down to 1. And so you say, golly, I'm not liking the looks of this hand. I don't think I'm going to make it if I have to lead that heart myself. And then stop right there. Is this a candidate for an end play? Yes, it is. Let's look at our indicators. The indicators, first of all, you have adequate trumps. You see, you've got 6 trumps in one hand and 5 in the other. You have no losers in the trump suit. You can draw 1 or 2 rounds of trumps. Well, you're not really going to have to draw but 1 because they break 1-1. But if they didn't, you draw 2 rounds of trumps. So you do have adequate trumps where you can draw their trumps, and you're certainly going to have many trumps left over for the rough slough possibility. Do you have a suit that you need for them to lead? Yes. You need to have them lead the hearts for you. Do you have a suit that you can strip out? Yes, it's the spade suit. King of spades, ace of spades, rough of jack of spades, and you have strips, so you have made void both the spades in the dummy and the spades in your hand. And now do you have a throw-in card? The throw-in card is going to be the diamond. So let's go with how the play of this hand goes. He leads the king of diamonds. You win it with the ace. I mean, you might say, well, maybe hold up. No. And the reason why you're going to see in a minute, your throw-in card is going to be the diamond. All right, you win the ace of diamonds. And then you cash the king of spades. You need to get rid of that king of spades. So at trick 2, cash the king of spades. Lead a small club to your hand, to the ace, or well, it doesn't matter which one you play, it's going to win it. And you see that the trumps break 1-1. If they did not, then you would draw. If they were 2-0, you would go ahead and lead another round of trumps. You want to take out all the trumps at this point. Then you play your ace of spades. On the ace of spades, it doesn't do you any good to throw a heart. You see that? The card you need to throw on the ace of spades is that second, one of those little diamonds in the dummy. And now you see that you have a doubleton diamond. You have the ace, and you played the ace, and you have one more diamond left in the dummy, and you have one more diamond left in your hand. It doesn't do you any good to throw a heart. Doesn't solve your problem. So on the ace of spades, you throw the diamond from the dummy. And now you ruff the jack of spades, and now your throw-in card is going to be the diamond. You still have one diamond in the dummy, and you have one diamond in your hand. I know this is kind of a little difficult, but you throw the guy in. He's marked to have the queen of diamonds, not only because he overcalled one diamond, but he also led the king. So more than likely, he's got the queen. You throw him in with the queen of diamonds. What's he going to lead? He cannot lead a spade. If he leads a spade, you rough in the dummy and throw your diamond out of your hand. He cannot lead a trump because he doesn't have any. If he leads a diamond, you see you threw the other diamond on the ace of spades. You threw that other diamond in the dummy. So he gives you a rough slough there. So about all he can do is lay down the ace of hearts, and then you make your king. So all you have lost in this hand would be a diamond, the queen of diamonds, and the ace of hearts. You will not make this hand if you rely on the heart finesse. So you in-played, you did what we call in-playing west at a strategic point in the hand. You have to draw all the trumps. You have to complete the strip. The strip is the spade suit, king of spades, come to your hand with the trump, ace of spades, throw the other diamond out of the dummy. At this point, you have one diamond in the dummy and one diamond in your hand. You come back to your hand, you do trump the jack of spades there, and now you have the in-play, the card that you use to in-play is the diamond. You throw in west with the diamond. He's up a creek. He can't lead a spade, it gives you a rough slough. If he leads a diamond, it gives you a rough slough. He can't lead a trump. He can lay down his ace of hearts, but he has to give you your queen, your king, and you make the hand. You cannot make this hand any other way. So again, take the ace of diamonds in your ace of diamonds at trick 1. That's an important point. You want to take the ace of diamonds at trick 1 because you see you're going to strip the suit, and your card that you're going to throw west in with is going to be the other diamond. So if you duck the first diamond and then take the ace of diamonds, now you don't have any card. You're going to end up having to lead the heart yourself. So you've got to take the ace of diamonds at trick 1. That's key. You're going to get rid of the other diamond, one of the other diamonds in the dummy. And then after you've drawn trumps, after you've stripped the spade suit, you now have a small diamond to throw west in with. But if you make the mistake of ducking the king of diamonds, playing the 7, playing the 3, then he's going to come on and you take the ace. Now you have no card to throw the guy in with. So that's key. All right, let's look at another hand. Let's go down to example 2. Try to get as much of this on the board as I can. Okay, in example 2, let's look at the bidding first. I think that South is going to open a spade. And let's look at the West hand. Now, your inclination, you have heard that if I have 5 hearts and 5 of a minor and the guy's opened a spade, I think I will bid 2 spades. And of course, that is Michael's. That is showing 5 hearts and 5 of a minor. But let me caution you, the information you're giving away there can be extremely valuable to the declarer. Normally, you don't do the Michael's bid unless you have a game going hand or you have a very weak hand. If you have an intermediate hand, it is far better to overcall 2 clubs with this hand. You want your partner, if she happens to be on lead, you want her to lead a club. You don't want to bid 2 spades and she's going to come off leading that queen of hearts. Now, in this particular case, it wouldn't matter, but it could matter. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, as far as bidding, and I haven't covered much on bidding, but I think in this case, instead of bidding 2 spades, showing 5 hearts and 5 of a minor, you would be far better with a game. You don't have a game invitational hand. You don't have the really weak hand. I would just bid 2 clubs. You obviously want a club lead if it works out that your partner is on lead. All right, so let's say that she bids 2 clubs. And then I think that North should say 3 clubs, which shows 3 plus spades, promises 3 plus spades, and promises at least 11 points, 11 plus points. And then that's all that South needed to know, and she went on to 4 spades. If West had overcalled two spades, let's say, then there are all kinds of bidding sequences that you can go through to show by North, but I won't go into those right now, but we can come back and look at it later. But anyway, you are in 4 spades, and you are going to, the declarer is going to be South. That's going to be the master hand because she has the stronger trumps. Now, obviously, she has no spade losers. She has no heart losers. The ace, king, and the dummy cover her heart losers. She's got 3 diamond losers. And she's for certain got 2 club losers. So what she's got to try to do is to hold her diamonds to 1 loser. You have to lose the ace, king of clubs. The ace of diamonds will cover 1 of your losers, but you've got 3 others. You can maybe trump 1 of them, but you've got 2 of them. And so that's 4 losers. And if you've got 4 losers, then you're not going to make 4 spades. And you say to yourself, okay, well, what must I do? I need to have her lead the diamond for me. I need to have somebody lead that diamond for me. So that's a key that maybe the way to play this thing is to try to execute, try to set up an end play. Do you have the ingredients? Do you have the indicators? Yes, you do. You have the length in the trump suit. You have adequate length in both the dummy and in your hand to draw the trumps, but also to have at least 1 trump left in case you have the possibility of a rough bluff. Do you have a strip suit, one that you can eliminate in both hands? Yes. Ace, king of hearts, rough a heart. So both hands, both the dummy and your hand are void. You have to give up the clubs. And you say, well, how are you going to get around making them lead the diamonds? Okay, let's go through what you're going to do. First of all, West is going to take his ace, king of clubs, and his partner is going to probably play the 6th and then the 2. And so he knows, West knows he better not lead a 3rd club. What happens if he leads a 3rd club? What are you going to do? You're going to throw a diamond from the North hand, and you're going to rough in your hand. So West, if his partner is giving him adequate count, knows he cannot play a third club because he's giving you a rough and a slough. It doesn't do you any good to slough a diamond out of your hand in the south. You've got to slough it in the shorter hand of diamonds, which is in the dummy. But West is smart, so he holds up, he plays his ace king of clubs. Now, he can either lead a trump or he can lead a heart. Let's say that he leads a heart and you take the ace, and he leads a heart and you take the ace of hearts. And now you cash two, it takes 2 rounds of trumps, you cash 2 rounds of trumps to pull all their trumps. Then you lead a heart to the king, if you've taken the ace or the king, and then you ruff a heart. Okay, so now you have eliminated all of their trumps. If they get in, they cannot lead a trump. You have stripped the heart suit. If they get in, they cannot lead a heart. If they do, they're going to give you a ruff and a slough. And you say, well, I still don't see how this end play is coming. All right. The fact that South is overcalled 2 clubs may be a clue. He has no points in the heart suit. You already know he has no points in the heart suit because you have the ace king and his partner's shown up with the queen jack. So where are his points? He's overcalled 2 clubs. He ought to have at least 12 points to overcall 2 clubs. He's got to have the king of diamonds. He's marked to have the king of diamonds. Let me tell you another way. If he had bid 2 spades over your 1 spade, then you have an exact count on his hand. You know he's got 5 hearts. You know he had 5 clubs. You know he had 1 spade. So he's got to have 2 diamonds. He's got to have that king of diamonds. So how do you play? And he's got to have only 2 of them. So what you do is you play your ace of diamonds and you throw him in with the king of diamonds. This, Preston, is how you get in played. He knew, so he threw you in, and you're in no man's land. You throw him in, he has to take the king of diamonds. So what's he going to do? He has no spades to lead. He can't lead a club. If he leads a club, then you slough a diamond. If he leads a heart, you slough a diamond from the dummy. And then you only have 1 diamond loser. Okay, let's say that West is real smart. He sees he's going to be in play. I never know when I'm going to be in play, but these really experts, they know they're going to be in play. He could try to thwart you when you play the ace of diamonds. He could throw his king. This is hard to do, but you think about it, he knows he's going to be in played and he doesn't have an out card. He can try to thwart you by throwing his king of diamonds under your ace. Well, no problem. Now you go over to your spade and you lead a small diamond towards your jack. And now East can take her queen, but you're going to get your jack and you have you've held your losers to 1 diamond loser. So the ingredients are there. This one's a little more complicated because you have to throw him in, you have to play the ace of diamonds and throw him in that way. As I say, if he's smart, he can throw that king. I'm not smart enough to see that. But if you look at it, it's reasonable because he knows he's in played if he's got to try to jettison that king of diamonds. But even if he does, you've still got him because you can lead a spade over to the dummy and lead a small diamond towards your jack, and you still hold your diamond losers to 1. So any other way, if you try to lead the diamonds yourself, you're going to have 2 diamond losers, and you're not going, along with your 2 clubs, and you're not going to make the hand. So your dilemma here was to hold diamond losers 1. You have a possible in play. He plays his ace king of clubs. He shifts to a heart. He cannot continue with a club because he gives you a rough slough. You take the heart. You pull their trumps. Now when either one of them gets in, they cannot lead a trump. You cash the ace of hearts, the other heart, and you ruff a heart. That's the elimination or the strip play. And then how are you going to throw the guy in? He's indicated to have the king of diamonds, particularly if he has bid 2 spades. He's showing 5 hearts and 5 clubs. So you know he showed up with only 1 spade. So he's got to have 2 diamonds. His bid tells you he's got the king of diamonds. He's more than likely got it. Although people are overcalling with 5 points now to 2 level, and they are killing you in these virtual games because you're expecting them to have something and they don't have it. But you play the ace of diamonds, he can try to throw the diamond under your ace, but you still have no problem because you can go over to the dummy and lead small towards a small diamond towards your jack. All right, let's look at example 3. That number 2 is a little bit more complicated as to how you're going to throw them in. And that comes, all of you, by, you know, I know Carol does this with you, and I don't do it as much as she does, but getting a count on the declarer's hands. You're watching what they're playing, particularly the one that's important. East is not important, but you watch the cards that the West hand is playing, and you will have an exact count on his hand, either from the bidding or from what he's played. All right, this hand, you are in 4 spades. I do want to look at the bidding on this. If you look at the south hand, you have 15 points. Now, we know that if from one of our previous lessons, if you have 15 or 16 points and you have a 5-card major, 5 hearts or 5 spades, you're encouraged to open 1 no trump. If you have 17 points and 5 hearts and 5 spades, or 5 spades, you should open 1 heart or 1 spade. But looking at this hand, you have 2 suits pretty much wide open. I mean, the heart suit, maybe you've got it stopped, but you really don't have any kind of a stopper in the diamond suit. And you have a very tenuous stopper in the heart suit. So with this hand, those quacks sitting there, I would open 1 spade with this hand as opposed to opening 1 no trump. I think then if you open 1 spade, that your partner, certainly West is not going to bid, your partner's going to do the Jacoby 2 no trump bid showing 4 spades and 12 points, and she certainly has that. She has 14 points. And then if she bids 2 spades, you don't have a singleton or void that you can, if you had a singleton diamond, you could bid 3 diamonds. You had a singleton club, you could bid 3 clubs. You had a singleton heart, you could bid 3 hearts. You don't have any of these, but you do have the 15-point hand. So I would rebid. I believe Doug Althouse taught this lesson 2 or 3 years ago. I remember being there. He said, with this hand, then you would bid 3 no trump, telling your partner that you have a balanced hand, you have no singletons or voids, and that you have at least 15 points. So the way this hand would, I would bid a spade with this hand, not a no trump, 2 no trump coming from the north hand, 3 no trump by you, south, and then she's got the doubleton. She really wants to play in 4 spades, so she puts it in 4 spades. I think that's how the bidding of this hand should go. Okay, so south is going to be the master hand. It has more length in the trump suit. You're looking at your losers. South has no losers in the spade suit. Whoa, she's got 3 losers in the heart suit. If she has to lead the hearts, she's got 3 losers. In the diamond suit, she's got to lose 1. In the club suit, she has no losers. Okay, let's see. How are we going to set about doing this? You sure really do want one of those defenders to lead the heart suit for you. So right then you need to stop and say, I might have an in play. This may be a candidate for an in play. Let's see what the indicators are. Number 1, you have trump length. As long as they don't break 4-0 against you, you have trump length in both hands, where you would have at least 1 trump left in the dummy, and certainly trumps left in your hand in case you get a rough slough. You have a suit you need for them that you would benefit from if they let it. You want them to lead the hearts, not you. You have a suit that you're going to be able to strip. That is the diamond suit. And you have, the strip suit is going to be the club suit because you can play all 3 of those. And then the suit you're going to throw them in with is going to be the diamond. So let's look at the play of this hand. Your main problem is the heart. So when he leads a diamond, I'm having him lead a diamond because this is just I don't think he wants to lead the heart. A club might be okay, but club would probably be his best lead. But I'm having him lead a diamond so I can illustrate the hand. So he leads a small diamond. You need to win the ace of diamonds. And it's for the same reason as hand number one. You're going to throw him in with the diamond because you've already decided you're going to play this as an end play. So you play the ace of diamonds, reserving the eight of diamonds or the two of diamonds or your queen of hearts, a queen of diamonds to throw him in with. You pull your trumps. In this particular hand, you have to pull 2 rounds of trumps. And now you come and you play your 3 clubs. That's your strip suit. That is the one where you eliminate. So at this point, you have pulled all the trumps. They can't lead a trump if they get in. You have stripped out the clubs. If they get in, when they get in, they cannot lead a club. If they do, they're going to give you a slough and a rough. What is the card that you're using to throw them in? It is going to be either the eight of diamonds or the queen of diamonds, whichever hand you happen to be in. You throw them in. Okay, what are they going to do? They cannot lead a club. They cannot lead a diamond. If they do, they give you a rough and a slough. If they do, which hand do you want to rough in? You want to rough in the dummy because you have the shortness in the heart suit in your south hand. So you would want to throw the 6 of hearts if they give you a rough slough. More than likely, they're going to lead the heart. So whichever one of them gets in, they lead a heart, play small, and play small. You are guaranteed at least 1 heart winner. So all you lose in this hand then will be the 2 hearts and the diamond, and you make it. If you have to touch those hearts yourself, you're not going to get a single heart. You've got 3 heart losers. And of course, you've got to lose the diamond, and you're not going to make the hand. So going back through the indicators again, the indicators for an end play, you've got to have adequate trumps in both hands, the dummy as well as your hand, to pull trumps and to have at least 1 left in both hands to keep alive the slough rough. You've got to have a suit that you would benefit if they lead it. You don't want to have to lead it. Like that one above where you want him to have to lead away from his ace of hearts. He has to play ace of hearts, and then he lets you get your king. A suit that you would benefit if they lead it. And then you've got to have a way to throw them in. You're going to throw them in with the diamond. You've got to have a suit where you can eliminate, and that is the clubs. You play off the 3 rounds of clubs. So now you see whoever gets in, when it gets in with that diamond, when you lead the throw-in card, the diamond, then they either lead the heart for you, you duck, whichever one of them leads it, you duck. It's just like you were playing in any other combination. When you have the jack and some cards, opposite the queen and some cards, you always play small. So you make this hand. You force them to either give you a rough slough or to leave the heart suit for you. So this is just basically the play of the hand. You play the ace of diamonds. The reason why you want to play the ace of diamonds, you don't want to duck the first diamond because now you have no card to throw them in with. You weigh your ace of diamonds, you pull your trumps, you strip your club suit, and now you throw them in with the diamond. They either give you a rough slough. If they do, you slough a heart out of your hand and rough in the dummy. Or if they lead a heart, whichever one of them leads the heart, you duck, you play low, and you are guaranteed then of only 2 heart losers, not 3, and the diamond loser, and you make the hand. Okay, it's very interesting, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but normally the end play happens near the end of the hand, maybe 3 or 4 cards from the end. But sometimes the end play can happen at trick 1. It will happen if one of those opponents holds 18 or 20 points. In other words, he's got all the points in the deck that you and your partner do not have. So he's end played at trick 1. Whatever card he plays, you win it, you throw him in, he's got to lead to you. So every time he gets thrown in, he has to lead a card to you. Again, this does not happen very often, but it's a very uncomfortable situation if you happen to be the one who has all the points and you know that you're going to be, every time you get out, you're going to be put right back in and you got to get out again. And every time you lead a card, it's to the benefit of the declarer. So the in play is always making an opponent lead a card that allows you to make a trick in a suit that you might not have had opportunity to make. Okay, let's look again. Technique to set up the in play. You got to pull your trumps. You've got to strip a side suit where you void both your hand and the dummy suit, and then you've got to have a throw-in card at the right time to throw them in, because you want them to lead something that is going to benefit you. All right, let's look at example 4. Example 4, you are in 4 spades. And you're going to get the Queen of Hearts lead. They did not bid, by the way. All right, so you are, I think, let's just go ahead and make the south hand be the master hand, even though you have 5-5 trumps in both, just for the sake of talking about the hand. So you do have 1 spade loser. You do have 1 heart loser, neither of which you can avoid right away. You do have a diamond loser. You see you have a 2-way finesse on the diamonds. If you can make them lead the diamonds for you, then you do not have a diamond loser. Otherwise, you're going to have to guess which way to finesse on the 2-way finesse. And you do have a club loser. So you're looking at this hand and you're saying, oh, wow, I'm in 4, but I got 4 losers. If I can guess where that stupid Queen of Diamonds is, you got a 2-way finesse, well, I'm home free. But that may not be easy. And I don't know about you, but most of the time I don't get it right. Many times I do get it right, but by an in play, you don't have to guess. They play it for you. You don't have to guess. Okay, so let's see how this hand should be played. He leads the Queen of Hearts. What you want to do in this case, unlike the other, is you want, because this is not going to be the card that you throw them in with. You go ahead, you duck the first heart, Queen of Hearts, duck it. He comes on with a heart, take your ace. And now you lead a spade towards your queen. He takes his ace. Now, he knows by his partner giving count that he can't lead another heart because he's going to give you a rough slough. He's looking at that ace-10 of diamonds on the board. He doesn't really know for sure what you got, but he knows you've got something in the diamond suit because you did open the bidding. He says, well, I'm not going to give her any help on locating whatever my partner might have in that diamond suit. He can try to get out with a club. A club would be fine, but it doesn't matter. He can either lead a club or a spade at that point. Let's say he leads a spade. You pull all the rest of the spades. East is void, so it takes 3 rounds of trumps to pull them all, but that still leaves you with 2 in the dummy and 2 in your hand. The heart suit has been stripped. You have no more hearts in the dummy. You have no more hearts in your hand. Now what you do is you set up the in play. You play your ace, king of clubs, and the card you throw them in with is the 8 of clubs. And the one who's going to take it, of course, is going to be East. So what is East going to do? If she leads a heart, then you throw one of the diamonds and you roughen the other hand. Now the ace, king of diamonds takes care of the problem. If she leads a club, same thing. So she can't lead East cannot lead a heart. She cannot lead a club without giving you a slough and a rough. So you're throwing one of the diamonds and then your ace king takes care of the other. If she leads the diamond, wow, how wonderful, how wonderful, how wonderful, because that picks up West's Queen of Diamonds. So you see, if you have to lead the diamonds, it's a 2-way finesse. If you guess wrong, you're going to go down in this hand. Because you have to give them a heart. You have to give them the ace of spades. And you have to give them, if you misguess the diamond, you have to give them a diamond, and then you have a club loser. So you've got 4 losers. So you see the beauty of the in play. It has eliminated you from having to guess, having to do that two-way finesse. And how beautiful is that? You make the hand, an absolute guarantee of the contract. So your indicators, you have sufficient trumps in both hands to pull trumps and still have trumps left for a slough ruff. The strip suit is the heart suit. The suit you want them to lead is the diamonds for you, because to alleviate you from having to make the finesse, having to guess where the queen is. The throw-in suit is the clubs. You play the ace king and you throw them in with the 8 of clubs. Whichever one of them gets in, it's going to be east in this case. She either gives you a slough ruff or she leads the diamond for you, and you do not have a guess then on which way to finesse the diamond. So how wonderful can that be for you? Okay, I want to look at one final example, and it's when you're in a slam. Example 5, you are in 6 spades, and let's look at it. In spades, you have the master hand, of course, is going to be south. You have no losers. You have no heart losers. You have no diamond losers. But look at the club suit. You have possibly 2 club losers. Now, if the king is over to your left with west, then you have just 1 club loser. But you are banking everything you've got to make this hand on a successful club finesse. And we all know that's 50-50%. You have a better way to make this hand, and it is through setting up an elimination and in play. And let's see how that would be. You're getting a diamond lead. So let the diamond come on around to your king. Play 1 round of trumps, the ace, one of your big ones. And then lead your small diamond over to your ace. Ace of diamonds in the dummy. Play a small diamond and ruff it high with the queen or jack or the 10, one of the big ones. Lead a small spade over to the king. Hopefully that you pulled all the spades. I think you have in this particular hand. And then you ruff the last diamond that's now in the dummy. You ruff in your hand. And now, sorry, Nisha came in and it's causing disruptions. Thank you, Nisha. Lost my concentration here. Okay. So you have stripped the diamond suit. You played the king of diamonds on the first trick. You've played your ace of spades. You have 1 round of trumps. You go over to your ace of diamonds, ruff another diamond, ruff it high. And the reason why you didn't want, now the only way you can get back to the hand there easily is to go over to the king of spades and you ruff the remaining diamond that's sitting there in the dummy. So you have stripped, you all see that, you have stripped the diamond suit, that's the strip suit. You've now pulled all the trumps. And so you're back in your hand and you are going to now pull any other, if there are any more trumps out, you will now pull them. All right, so you have the 4 of hearts. So what you're gonna do, you lead your 4 of hearts. If West plays low, then you finesse the jack. If East gets in with either the queen or the king, what is she going to do? She either leads a heart right back into your ace 10 and you get to throw a club, or she leads the club right into your ace queen. And on the now good heart, the ace of hearts, you throw your other club. Let's say that West has the king, queen of hearts, and he splits his honors. He plays either the queen or he plays the king. Now you take the ace and you play the jack of hearts. You throw a club. He can take his king of hearts or his queen of hearts, whichever one he's got left. But now if he plays a club, you play the ace, and then on the remaining big heart, the 10 of hearts, you throw your other club and you make the hand. If you don't set up an in play, then you're banking everything in his hand on the king of clubs being over on the west side. And you don't have to do that. You absolutely can make this contract if you do it the way I'm saying. So let's look at the ingredients. First indicator is you need to have adequate trumps, which you do. You really don't have a trump that you can rough anything with in the dummy, but you have other things working for you. You strip, the strip suit that you eliminate is diamonds in both hands. You do that by taking the first diamond in your hand with the king. You play the ace of spades, and then you lead a small diamond to the ace sitting over there in the dummy. You lead a small diamond, rough it big with the queen, lead a spade over to the king, lead your last diamond sitting over there in the dummy, rough it. Now, if there are any more trumps out, you're in your hand, you pull the last trump. Now you lead your 4 of hearts. If West plays small, you play the jack. East is in play. She can get out, she can lead the club to you, or she leads another heart. And you see, you can throw a club, or you've got all kinds of ways you can get rid of the club loser. And so you make this hand. You do not have to worry about taking. Now, most of us, I think up until this time, you would have said, okay, I've got to play for this hand. I'm going to finesse the queen of clubs. You see, you do not have to finesse the queen of clubs. It's there for you. It's just you've not been used to thinking of the hands in this term, making them lead it to you. Okay, so I'm hoping that that you are feeling a little bit more assured. I know Preston said before the lesson started that he had been in played. I don't know if you have actually executed an in play yourself or not. Maybe you did, but you didn't realize you were doing it, but you did it. I think you can see now how you did it. You've got to have the adequate trumps. You've got to have a suit you want them to lead that you don't want to touch. You've got to strip one of the suits in your dummy, void both the dummy and yourself. And then you've got to have a card to throw them in with at the right time, the strategic throwing them in. I would like for you to work on this for next week. And since we're not going to have a regular lesson next week, this might be one of the hands we'll talk about. And I can do some more of the in-play type hands if that would be helpful to you, because I really feel for all of you that you're serious about moving up to the more advanced levels of play. And I think mastering the in-play, and you see it's not quite that difficult if you know what you're looking for. It is not difficult at all. I think if you look back at these hands, it makes perfectly logical sense. So I can do some more of this next week if you'd like to have some more hands, but I'd like for you to try to do this one for homework. Now I want to finish up. I gave you a Morsian fit last week. I don't know if any of you looked at it, but you're in 4 hearts on the 4-3 fit. And this is the way I played it. I don't know for sure how you may have played it, but this is how I played it. They take the ace king of clubs. You're in 4 hearts. They take the ace king of clubs. If they come on with a 3rd club, which I think they may do so because I think they see that they're not going to give you a rough slug. That's good for you because now you can rough with the 6 of hearts. You see, you are roughing in the shorthand. You're in game, so you want to play the control method, not the scramble trick method that I talked about if you're in a part score. So you trump with the 6 of hearts. You lead a small spade and cast your ace queen of spades on the board. You lead a small heart back to your ace and cast your queen. And you find out that one person's got 4 trumps. And I told you last week that normally 2/3 of the time, one of these guys they're going to break 4-2 on you. And of course they do. Not to worry. All you do now is you play your king of spades and you play your jack of spades. And she's not going to be able to rough. And then you are going to make your hand. I don't know how you played it, but you might look through my description of how I played it. That's basically how I decided I would play it, and I did make the hand. The interesting thing on this hand is that poor East has to follow to 4 rounds of spades, so she can't rough. So you're getting the 4 spade tricks, you're getting the 3 heart tricks, you're getting the rough, and you're getting your ace king of diamonds, and you make the hand. Okay, so I can do some more on Morsey Fit next week. The hands that I put together for you, I can do just some of these ones that we've been looking at, or I can do just some at random or some that you want to talk about. I do have down at the end of the file here that I was going to do cross ruff, but for next week, we will just do some hands and save back the cross ruff until the first week of June. Okay, let me finish here.